True peace, Kens. It is August 29th, 2020, and I am back at y'all with another one. And if you're trying to stay ahead of the game, you should subscribe to Peep the Slang. Public international notice concerning the U.S. 2020 census. Say, man, that's the headline. Peep the Slang. In addition to their usual snooping, the U.S. Census is trying to claim that everyone who responds to this pile of inappropriate interrogation is domestic and within their jurisdiction. This is not true. The federal constitutions grant that the federal subcontractors the right and responsibility to take a head count of people living in this country, but the only information that people are required to give is the number and the name of those living in any given place. There is no selection of boxes allowing anyone to tick off what kind of United States they live in, no explanations about political status, no disclosure that the rats will be making any presumptions or assumptions about your political status based on whether you responded to the survey or not. As a result, their undisclosed claims are just as fraudulent as ever, and the Census 2020 results cannot be taken to be any measure of how many citizens of the United States might live in this country. To find that out with any reasonable certainty, we have to count the actual federal civil service employees and the federal agency personnel and their family members who are direct dependents of these federal employees. We also have to count the population of the insular states, the U.S. territories, and possessions offshore like Guam and Puerto Rico, plus the non-military population of Washington, D.C. and the District of Columbia. Oh, and all those actually getting an unearned welfare check from the federales. Best guesstimate is that about 23% of the total population fits the bill to be counted as a citizen of the United States. And if the rest of us would get our tails in gear and take these frosters to task, that number would drop dramatically. Why? Because the DC boys make money by keeping lots and lots of people down in the hood, living worse than slaves, eating crap with no jobs, no hope, no education, no way to have a decent life at all. The Dems created their base this way and then promised their victims relief. Just more lies, more fraud, and then they steal the actual value of these people's labors, tax them to death, and use their homes as chattel backing the perpetrators' debts. If you actually told all these people what they voluntarily gave up, the actual cost to them of adopting citizens of the United States political status in exchange for a job or a stingy welfare check, they'll all poop their pants, and the municipal government will have no workers in the morning. Even the custodians and the cooks at the White House will quit. That's why they never ever provide full disclosure and have to be downright secretive about what they are doing and all the false claims that they are making. Because if people knew the truth, there would be, as Henry Ford said, revolution by the morning. And this lack of full disclosure will forever invalidate everything those con artists say and do in all the purported contracts they claim to make. So when they come back and tell another whopper to the world and claim some absurd number like 93% of Americans have adopted municipal citizenship, don't believe it. Not for a nanosecond. Nothing regarding our political status is proven or even indicated by the 2020 census.